Hello everyone. Protrini has brought to you an evolving industry-ready environment. Welcome to our online guidance series. Today we are going to take you for a learning ride on eTabs. eTabs is an engineering software product that caters to multi-story building analysis and design. Before beginning with the session, kindly press the like button and share it with your friends. And for more such informative content, please press the bell icon and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So let's begin with our guidance session.
I welcome you all. So today and tomorrow, the entire session, 2 sessions, we are going to learn the complete design of G+3 story RCC building as per Indian standard codal provisions. Okay, by using the software called eTabs. So before switching into the software, we want to know the basic details about the structure and about the architectural plan and also some important data. Okay, because the software is simply nothing but a tool. We are the one going to give the inputs, and the software will analyze and design as per our input. Okay, so we want to very clear about that. Each and every input given by us should be correct and as per the IS codal provision. So in this session, first of all, I'm just showing some plans to you. Yeah, this is the line plan of an G+3 rigid framed structured building. For this plan, we are going to design and analyze by using eTabs. Okay. So for the load calculation is the very important criteria, the important thing before switching into the software. So as per the structure, I having some basic details of the structure, that is an architectural plan of building conforming to all architectural aspects that requires. The first one is the type of structure. Here our type is multi-story rigid joined RC framed structure, and the number of stories. So we have G+3 ground floor plus first, second, third floor. Okay, and the floor to floor height. The floor to floor height is 3.25 meter, and the plinth level, the height of plinth level is 1.25 meter. These are the important data we required before starting the software. Okay, and the location of the structure. The location of the structure is very important to calculate the seismic load. Okay, the location of the structure is located in Tamil Nadu, Chennai, and the site details, that is surrounding location of the structure is in urban region, developed complex area. The type of soil on which the structure is rest is medium soil. This result has been given by the soil test report, and also the important thing, the safe bearing capacity of the soil. The safe bearing capacity, that is 400 kilonewton per meter square for our structure as per the soil condition. So here our plan, we have, there is the basic things are here: kitchen, living room, and both the symmetrical plan, the both sides are similar to each other. So I just prepared some column layout here. See, hope you can see this column layout. So we have each and every column fixed in the place. I just created a grid, the X grid called A, B, C until I, and the Y grid called as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each and every grid having the equal spacing, equal and unequal spacing here. And also the sizing of the member, I already size as per the IS codal provision by using IS 456 and IS 13920. The floor slab we are going to design right here in the building is 125 mm, and the staircase raised slab is 125 mm. The primary beam, secondary beam, plinth beams, the three different sizes we have. The category one is 240 by 325 mm, that is breadth into depth, overall depth, and the secondary beam is 240 by 250 mm, and the plinth beam are 240 by 250 mm. For the columns, we have two sizes, two number of sizes. One is 375 by 375, that is breadth into overall depth, and 350 by 350 mm. So our column is here a square column. So next thing is the load calculation. So here we want to calculate the dead load, live load, and some other kind of load. So first of all, dead load. So dead load is categorized into two. The first one is the self weight of the member. Why I am categorizing this into two means the self weight is calculated automatically by the software called ETABS. Okay, the software will calculate the self weight. Self weight, we have the formula for calculating the self weight, the unit weight of concrete into the cross sectional area. So the unit weight of the concrete into cross sectional area of the column, we have calculated the columns self weight. So we don't want to calculate the each and every member self weight right here. The ETABS will automatically calculate the members self weight. We want to calculate the dead load, like the flooring, the plastering load, it is above the beam, above the column, that only we want to calculate. So here we don't want to focus upon the dead load, that is the load pattern. The load pattern in the sense, the load pattern we will be given into the input as a for ETABS. So next one is superimposed dead load. This is the one we are going to calculate it for the slab and beam and all. Now, first of all, I'm calculating the superimposed dead load for slabs. For slab, the pattern is given into the software, that is super dead. Okay, once we have opened the software, you may know about this. The first one, I'm calculating the load intensity. The load intensity, that is for the mortar screeding, the mortar plastering. As per IS codal provision, IS 1875 part 1, this code book is for calculating the dead loads. In the code book, the page number 31, we have the value, the mortar screeding. The mortar screeding, the nominal size or thickness mm, that should for 10 mm, the weight is 0.21 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, so that is noted here. Load intensity for 10 mm thick mortar, that is equal to 0.21 kilonewton per meter square. But here we are going with 50 mm mortar screeding. So for finding the value for 50 mm, the value should be multiplied by 5. 0.21 into 5, that is equal to 1.05 kilonewton per meter square. This is noted in page number 31 of IS 875 part 1 1987. And then ceiling plastering. Sir, why we are going with ceiling plastering? Because if we consider a slab, we are calculating the dead load for a slab means the slab having two surfaces, one the top surface and another one is the bottom surface. In the top surface, we just go with the flooring and mortar plastering and all. And the bottom, we having the ceiling plastering. Okay, so that I'm calculating the ceiling plastering of a slab. I'm for thickness of 12 mm. We already know for 10 mm thickness, the load intensity is 0.21 as per the codal provision. So multiplying the value with 1.2, the 12 mm, the 1.2, that is equal to 0.252 kilonewton per meter square. And above the floor, we are using the tiles, the clay floor tiles. Here I'm using the clay floor tiles. For clay floor tiles, in page number 30, they are noted that the clay floor tiles, the nominal size is 12.5 to 25.4 mm. The load intensity is 0.10 to 0.1 to 0.2. So for 12.5 mm thickness, here the value is 0.10 kilonewton per meter square. So the total load acting upon the slab excluding terrace. Okay, here note the value. The thing is the excluding terrace is, that is super SIDL is nothing but superimposed dead load, that is equal to 1.05 plus 0.252 plus 0.10, that is equal to 1.402. And the next one for calculating the dead load for terrace, because here I'm just separating the terrace and such another slabs, because we are in terrace we are going with the waterproofing. So here the thickness of waterproofing I consider for 125 mm and the density of waterproofing course is 22 kilonewton per meter square. So by using this value, we can able to calculate the load intensity, that is 1.25, 125 mm it is converted into meter here into 22, that is equal to 2.75 kilonewton per meter square. So the total load on terrace, I mean total dead load acting upon the terrace slab, that is 2.75, that is from the waterproofing, and 0.252. 0.252 is nothing but the ceiling plastering. If it is a terrace slab also, the bottom surface is called as ceiling. So the ceiling load is also be calculated here. So the total load on terrace is 3.002 kilonewton per meter square. And the next one, we are going with the staircase. For the staircase, we want to know the values. Unit weight of concrete, that is equal to 25 kilonewton per meter square, and the unit weight of floor finish, that is 22.3 kilonewton per meter square. Thickness of floor finish here is 20 mm, and the rise and tread I just already calculated by using IS Codal provision. So that is the rise here I'm considering 162.5 mm, and the tread is 291.11 mm. So the calculating the load on step, we have the formula, that is the T is tread and R is rise. So load on step, that is equal to 1 by tread into rise into tread whole divided by 2 into unit weight of concrete. Okay, so by calculating this value, I have the final value answer of 2.03 kilonewton per meter square. That is done the load on step. The floor finish, load on floor finish of step, that is equal to thickness of floor finish into tread whole divided by tread into unit weight of floor finish. I already mentioned here the unit weight of floor finish is 22.3. So the thickness of floor finish is 20 mm. So I just converted in meter here 0.020 into the tread length divided by tread into unit weight of floor finish on step, that is equal to 0.47 kilonewton per meter square. The total dead load on staircase waste slab, that is equal to 2.03 and plus 0.47, that is equal to 2.5 kilonewton per meter square. So here we completed the total load that is acting, we calculated total load that is above the slab. So next we are calculating the total load which is acting on the beam. So that is, we are considering the wall load. So in a structure, the wall is constructed not above the slab. The wall is, each and every wall should be constructed above the beam only. Okay, so for calculating the wall load, we can able to assign it to the beam. So here our story height is 3.25 meter. We already know the beam sizes, the primary beam and the secondary beam and the width of the wall. So here I'm going with the AAC block, aerated autoclaved concrete blocks. The thickness of the block is 240 mm. If you are using the normal ordinary brick means, you just go with 230 mm. Okay, so here I'm using AAC block because here the AAC block, the unit weight is very low. So I'm going with AAC block, that is thickness is 240 mm. And the properties of the material is unit weight of the AAC block is 6 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, if you are using the brick means, it will vary from 18 to 18.5 kilonewton per meter square based upon the classes of brick. And the unit weight of plaster, for plastering, that is equal to 20 kilonewton per meter square. The thickness of internal plaster is 12 mm and the thickness of external plaster is 20 mm. Okay, so now we are going to calculate the internal wall loads. So I'm just categorize the internal walls and the external walls, because as per our plan, we have these boundary walls is the external wall, and other than the boundary walls is considered as an internal wall. Okay, so for that, the internal walls under primary beam. So where is the primary beam? The entire building having the each and every beam is primary beam other than these beams. Okay, because in our plan, you can able to see this. In our plan, this is the bathroom and WC here, the bathroom and WC. So there is a wall here. So the wall is constructed above the secondary beam. So this is there is a beam right here, this beam and this beam. So this entire beam is a secondary beam and also this beam. Okay. So and also opposite side, this is the bath and WC here. So for this beam only, I'm just constructing as a secondary beam. Other than this, every beam is called as primary beam. So only this beam is considered as a secondary beam, and other than that is called as primary beam. So I'm just calculating here internal walls under primary beam. So here the depth of the wall. What is the depth of the wall? the 3.25 is nothing but the depth of height of the story. Okay, minus 0.325. The wall will be constructed up to the height of the, I mean, up to the bottom portion of the beam. So beam, the depth of the beam is 325 mm. So I just subtracted the height of the floor minus 0.325. 325 is nothing but the depth of the beam. So we have the total height of the wall, 2.925 meter, and the weight per meter run of AAC block. So thickness of the wall into height of the wall, that is nothing but 2.925 into 6. 6 is nothing but unit weight of the AAC block. So we have 4.212 kilonewton per meter. And now we are calculating weight per meter run of plastering, both sides. Okay, this is the internal wall. So both sides we are going with 12 mm. If it is external wall, means the one end is 12, one side is 12 mm and another side is 20 mm. So here it is an internal wall. So we are plastering both sides for 12 mm. So 0.012 and 0.012 into the height, the entire height, 2.925 into unit weight, that is 20. So we have the value is 1.404. So total value of wall per meter run, that is equal to 4.21 plus 1.404, that is equal to 5.616 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so this load will be applied for every primary beam and internal primary beam, and the internal walls under secondary beam. For secondary beam, the difference, what is the difference from this calculation and this calculation is, the only difference is the size of the, I mean, depth of the beam. So here the depth of the beam is 325 mm, and here the depth of the secondary beam is 250 mm. The total height of the wall is 3.25 minus the 250 mm, that is 0.25, that is equal to 3 meter. So the same procedure will be followed. The weight per meter run of AAC block is thickness into height into unit weight. So that is equal to 4.32 kilonewton per meter. And also weight per meter run of plaster both sides of wall, that is both sides, the internal wall both sides here. So 12 mm into 3 is the height and 20 is the unit weight of the plaster, that is equal to 1.44 kilonewton per meter. So total weight of wall per meter run, that is equal to 5.76. And next one is wall under staircase secondary beam, because here if we constructed the wall staircase right here, means see this drawing. So here there is a landing beam right here. So once I'm constructed the wall start from this beam and end with here. But here the condition is changed, because the one wall is above this beam and another wall is above this beam. So we want to consider the each and every load acting on the beam. So wall under staircase secondary beam, that is depth of the wall, that is equal to 3.25 meter divided by 2. Divided by 2 is the center portion. We are calculating for the mid portion, the mid beam. The mid beam is the center portion of the floor. So 3.25 divided by 2, and also minus the secondary beam depth, that is 250 mm. So we have the height of 1.375 meter. Weight per meter run of AAC block, that is equal to 240 into height into unit weight, that is equal to 1.98 kilonewton per meter. So here this wall is constructed as external wall. This is the external portion. So this is the external portion. So internal thickness is 12 mm. The external thickness of plastering is 20 mm into height of the wall into unit weight of the plaster, that is equal to 0.88 kilonewton per meter. Total weight of wall per meter run. So total 1.98 plus 0.88. So same procedure will be followed. The total height for the primary beam, the depth of the wall is 3.25 divided by 2 minus the depth of the beam. So here we have the depth of the wall is 1.3 meter and the weight per meter run of AAC block is 1.875. Same procedure has been followed. And this is here also the external thickness and also the internal thickness. So 12 mm plus 20 mm into 1.3 into 20, that is equal to 0.832 kilonewton per meter, and the total weight of wall per meter run, that is equal to 2.704. And the next one is the external wall. The external walls I have shown right here. This is the boundary wall. Okay, the boundary portion of our building. So the external wall primary beam is depth of the wall is 3.25 meter. So here they're saying the primary beam So for the primary beam, the depth is 325 mm. So and just subtracted 3.25 minus 0.325, we have the height of 2.925 meter. And the same procedure we followed for the previous calculation, thickness into height into unit weight, that is equal to 4.212 kilonewton per meter. This is the boundary wall. So we have the internal plaster of 12 mm and external plaster 20 mm. So we have the final value 1.875, 1.872 for weight per meter run of plaster, and the total weight is, and the total load, that is nothing but 4.212 plus 1.872, that is equal to 6.084 kilonewton per meter. And also here in our structure there is a headroom, because the stair is coming from inside from the building. So we have the headroom on the top of the floor. The headroom height is 3.25 meter. So there is a primary beam in the headroom. So I just subtracting the primary beam size. So 3.25 minus 0.325, that is equal to 2.925, the same value of here. So the value is similar from the external wall, that is 6.084 kilonewton per meter square. And finally, for calculating wall load, we are going to calculate the parapet wall. The parapet wall is constructed at the height of 1.25 meter. So weight per meter run of AAC block is thickness into height into unit weight, that is equal to 1.8 kilonewton per meter, and weight per meter run of plaster. So in parapet wall, the both side is an external. Okay, so both sides we are using it is exposed to the atmosphere. So both sides are 20 mm thickness plastering has been done. So 20 plus 20 into 1.25 into 20. So that is, this is the thickness and this is the height, and 20 is the unit weight of plaster. We have the value of 1 kilonewton per meter, and the total weight of wall per meter run is 1.8 plus 1, that is equal to 2.8 kilonewton per meter. So now we calculated the load which is acting upon the beams, the dead load which is acting upon the beams. So next one, we are supposed to calculate the live load. So for calculating the live load, the load pattern is given by us, that is live for ETAPS. So for calculating this load, we are using the codal provision called as IS 875 part 2. For calculating dead load, we used part 1. For calculating live load, we want to use the part 2. Part 2 1987. So this is the code book, part 2, table number 1, page number 7. Okay. See this IS 875 part 2 1987. So here in this table they mention the for residential building, all rooms and kitchens, the live load is 2 kilonewton per meter cube, and toilet and bathroom 2 kilonewton per meter cube, and corridor, passages, staircase and all 3 kilonewton per meter cube, and for balconies 3 kilonewton per meter cube. So that I just listed here for living room, kitchen, WC and bath, bedroom, balcony, passage and stair. Okay, as per other codal provision. This is noted in table number 1. And also for roof load, I mean the terrace slab load, we want to switching into table number 2. So that is in the page number 14 in IS 875 part 2. The table number 2 is imposed load on various type of roofs. So totally the two loads, one is 1.5 for access provided, and another one is 0.75, that is access not provided except for maintenance. So here we are considering the both load. One is terrace 1.5, that is access provided, and terrace 0.75, access not provided.
Hey everybody, this is Anudesh Sachan, your coach at Proteni. I hope you all are well and safe at your places. You know, exams helps you to realize and understand where you actually stand in this huge line. So if you are a civil engineer, we are right back with an exciting opportunity for you all, and that is Industry Ready Assessment 2.0. So we welcome you all to participate in All India Level Assessment exam, and guess what? You have an opportunity to win exciting prizes as well. So good luck to everyone.